What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So, we're back, and we're going to talk about the NFC Championship game between the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams. So, my thing is with these two teams is I feel like they are so evenly matched. They both have superstars all over the field. They both have incredible pass rushes and defenses, and they both have really good coaches. But I think that the 49ers do have a slight advantage in the coaching matchup. Now, I know Sean McVay is incredible. He's an awesome coach. But I think from a play design and scheme perspective, Kyle Shanahan has the edge on him. And the reason why I think that is if you watch the opening drives of San Francisco 49ers games, they're like a symphony of football. It is absolutely beautiful. It's like artwork. And oftentimes they end up scoring a touchdown on that opening drive. Now, I know a lot of people will say, yeah, he's really good at what he does because his dad was a two-time Super Bowl champion and he learned from him. And I definitely think that he leans on his dad really heavily to come up with scheme and look at players and evaluate things. And also, he worked with Alex Gibbs, the father of the stretch zone play, which is a big staple of their offense. But I think what really took Kyle Shanahan to the next level was his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Legend has it, he used to talk to those defensive coaches when they were in that prime, when they had that awesome defense in the early 2000s. And he would spend tons of time with those coaches, understanding all of the little wrinkles of the defense, the alignment, the assignment, the checks, the rules, everything. And it really shows up with those first 15 to 20 plays that he scripts at the beginning of games. So this is not a game against LA. This is a game against the Colts where they ended up scoring a touchdown on their opening drive. And I want to break this play down to show you just how elite he is at designing plays. So the Colts don't very often run man-to-man coverage, but they're actually in man right now. Okay, so they're in man-to-man coverage, and you'll notice they've got 8 guys in the box. So they have a box advantage, right? So the 49ers have 7 guys in the box if you include the fullback, and the Colts have 8 guys in the box. So they're in man, so we got him covering him, him covering him, him covering him, and then the linebackers, the 2 outside linebackers, are doing what we call a we call, okay? So that means that if this back goes this way, he's going to take him. And if this back goes this way, he's going to take him, and vice versa, right? So whichever back goes their direction, they're going to take those guys. Then also you've got the Mike linebacker here. He is going to have, we talked about this in past videos, scrape rules for play action or boot. He's going to be responsible for the quarterback, okay? So what they're going to do right now is they're going to run split zone, right? So we're going to get some down blocking. Right, we're going to get some down blocking action. And then this tight end is going to kick out this guy, wham block this guy who's going to be unblocked. So let's just watch the play. Right, we get all of our down blocks, kick out, touchdown. Okay. Now, to the untrained eye, that might just look like, oh, okay, Elijah Mitchell made a really good play there. No, this play is designed phenomenally. Okay. So if you notice, let's watch Juszczyk here. He goes out to the flat. And since he's in man-to-man coverage with him, he has got to go chase with him, right? Then the next thing we want to look at here is look at Garoppolo. Garoppolo carries out his fake, and everybody knows that the 49ers run a lot of boot. So the Mike linebacker has to honor that. Well, we said before that they had a box advantage. Well, those 2 guys doing what they did made the box go from 8-on-7 to 6-on-6. So now there's an open gap, and Elijah Mitchell can hit it. Touchdown. Phenomenal play design, right? So we can see it from the tight view here, right? So we'll watch. We get the kick out block here. So he's coming to kick out. Juszczyk goes out too. So wham, he gets wham blocked. Then the will linebacker is gone. He's out of the play, and the Mike is having to watch Garoppolo. Now, look at the massive hole that there is here. Mitchell hits it one-on-one with the safety. Touchdown. Easy money. Perfect play design from Kyle Shanahan. So now let's talk about how Shanahan has done this to the Rams, since that's going to be their next opponent. Okay. So again, we're going to see split zone, right? So it's going to be the same thing, right? He's going to block back. They're going to block down this way, right? He's going to kick out this unblocked guy right here, okay? So the Rams are also in man-to-man coverage, right? But it's hard to see because the film is a little grainy, but I believe this is Darius Williams here, and he's out here covering this running back. But why would you have a corner covering a running back? It's because the Rams are in man-to-man coverage, but they're trying to disguise that they're in man-to-man coverage. They want it to look like it's zone, right? So this running back is going to motion across the formation, and you'll see that, right? So he motions across. So that changes everybody else's responsibilities since they're not traveling with motion. They're not locked onto their guys, right? It's a rule where the corner is going to have one, the nickel's going to have two wherever he is, and then the safety is going to have three. But, right, if you notice here, what ends up happening is with this motion going across, they have to switch. So now this corner is going to have one. The nickel is going to have two. This safety is going to bump to the middle of the field and be the zone dropper. And now this safety is going to come down and take the running back, right? Well, you'll notice here at the start of the play, the nickel was outside leverage because he was covering him. Well, now he has to bump over. So he's inside leverage of him now because he's covering the tight end. Well, now let's watch what ends up happening on the play. Since he's inside leverage, the receiver comes in and crack blocks him. And where does the run hit? Deebo Samuel hits the hole. Touchdown, right? That is phenomenal play design. And understanding the Rams came out there disguising the coverage to confuse the 49ers, and the 49ers knew what they were doing, right? And they used that to their advantage. So we can see it now, right? We'll see it again. Right? So let's see here, right? This nickel, he's inside leverage now of this receiver. Crack block. Deebo hits right where the crack block occurs. Touchdown. Phenomenal play design by the San Francisco 49ers. So another big X factor in this game is going to be what happens up here, okay? Up front, just like we talked about in the other game, right? Up front, that is going to be really important and critical to who wins this game. And, I know PFF is saying that, the Rams have the best pass blocking offensive line in the NFL. I don't know what they're smoking or what they're drinking to think that that is reality, but they're not. They're not awful, but they're not the best pass blocking offensive line in the NFL. I do not agree with that. And the San Francisco 49ers have taken advantage of that fact in all the games that they've played against them this year. So we're going to watch on this play. The Rams are going to do what I said that the Cincinnati Bengals should do. They know that they cannot block the San Francisco front, so they're not going to try to. They decide to go empty. And if you watch my video from last year, right, the playoff game between the Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers, this is the exact same play that they ran in that game where Aaron Jones ended up fumbling coming out of the second half, right? What they're going to do is they're going to run a clear out concept. So these guys are all going to go underneath, right? And they're going to run crossing routes. And then the running back is going to run underneath them, right? It's supposed to be a quick game, quick hitting concept. But the San Francisco 49ers front is so aggressive that Matt Stafford doesn't have the time to get the ball out, right? He's open, right? He's got his guy, but he's on the ground, right? So that's a perfect man beater, perfect quick game concept when you're trying to go up against a defensive line that you can't block. But Stafford can't even get the ball out, right? So we'll look and we'll see. Bosa just totally dominates the right tackle here, right? Like stands no chance. And then these two interior defensive linemen win up front. And Stafford's got nowhere to go, right? So we're going to go on to the next play. Again, the 49ers are in man-to-man coverage here. They're going to run a blitz, right? So they're going to run this, I call it a pinch blitz, right? So it's just 5 men. You're going to blitz the 2 guys on the outside, and then you got 3 interior rushers here, right? So the X factor in this game, though, the other X factor in this game is for the Rams, this guy right here, Matt Stafford, okay? Clearly, they have the advantage at quarterback, okay? And so the 49ers are going to run this blitz, right? Again, they're in empty. The 49ers are going to get home, but as we can see, Stafford, he's throwing off his back leg deep to Cooper Kupp, and he just drops it in the bucket, right? Not a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that have the arm strength and the moxie to stand in the pocket and be able to do that, right? So their X factor is that they got this guy, right? So we see they win. And this is good coverage right here, right? He's not looking back for the ball until he gets contact with him. Perfect time to look back, but it's just a perfect throw and catch. So that is the X factors that I think are occurring in this game, right? And I honestly do not know who is going to win this game. I don't have any prediction for you. I'm not here saying, one side is better than the other. I think that this is going to be the best game of the weekend, and I am really looking forward to watching it. So, with that being said, again, it's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.